So hey everyone, it's Stoney and I hope you're doing okay. I am in the little town of New London, North Carolina, down near Badin Lake. And I'm heading down to Badin Coffee to meet a friend. Actually, he is a fellow NT1100. Hello, buddy. He is a fellow NT1100 owner, and he's a subscriber of mine. Little tidbit of information for you. My parents lived in New London for a few years after my dad retired, and they had a house on the lake, on Badin Lake. I guess they were here for about 5 years. They actually had a place on the lake, but they had a New London address. And it's about 45 minutes down here to New London, which really isn't that far. But my parents have always lived in the same hometown as me and my sister. And I think they finally came to the conclusion that it was too far away from the grandkids, so they sold their place on the lake and moved back up to the Archdale Trinity area. It's a really nice ride down here through the country, and I just turned off Highway 49, which if you stay on 49 South, it goes right into Charlotte. It's only about probably 35 or 40 miles to Charlotte from here. And there's a sign for Morrow Mountain State Park. There's a chain of lakes that they have dams on the Yadkin River. And it starts with High Rock, then Tuckertown, then Badin, then Tillery, and then the Yadkin River, which starts up near Boone, North Carolina. The Yadkin and the Uwharrie, which goes through my area, actually starts in High Point, North Carolina. They meet right at Lake Tillery, and they form the Great PD River. And the Great PD River flows into South Carolina, and it ends in Georgetown, South Carolina, where it dumps into the Atlantic Ocean. Here's a little geography lesson for you. So the Uwharrie Mountains run through this area. They run through Stanley County, Randolph, I think part of Davidson County, maybe a little bit of Davie County. But this is just a really pretty area down here. So my NT1100 is running great. I have 541 miles on it. I'm going to pick up the oil filters. I say filters because the engine oil filter has to be changed, and so does the transmission oil filter. They use the same oil, but I guess some of the oil's piped into the transmission and some of it goes into the engine. But I'm going to do the 600-mile service this coming week. Oh, that was rough. So yeah, I am really bonding with this bike. I've said this before, the more I ride it, the more I like it. I learn something new about it every time I get on it and ride it. I'm either learning something on the display, or something about the DCT transmission. It seems to me as though it has kind of learned the way that I ride, and I think the shift points are getting better. Now maybe that's just in my head. Maybe I'm riding it better. And I haven't messed with these settings very much. I keep wanting to go in there and kind of play around with it, but I'll tell you, here lately I haven't had time. I've had this bike 6 weeks, 6 weeks and 2 days, and I've been working on a project with my youngest son. We have been remodeling his master bathroom, and that's been probably more of a job than we want to admit. We've been spending the weekends working on that, and we finished up last night. I had never laid tile, nor had he. I've done some carpenter work. My dad was a builder, and I like to do minor carpenter work. I'd never laid tile, and it is very labor intensive. I know it was. My house has a lot of tile in it. In the kitchen, bathrooms, shower, it's all tile. But I didn't do it. It was that way when we bought the house. My son, my youngest son, I have 2 boys. My youngest son is an IT professional, and he's a nerd. He's always been a nerd. He was a nerd when he was a little kid, but he has the nerd side. Then he has the he's built some. He and I both built the room in his. He's got a big 30 by 40 garage. We built an office for him in there. We built a kitchen, and I enjoy doing that kind of work, But he's really good at it. I'm surprised. And when my dad was alive, and when he was a little boy, he hung around my dad all the time. My dad had projects going on all the time, and I like working on these projects too. It helps me. It gets me thinking. I like working with wood. I had never cut tile, and I cut every piece of tile in that bathroom, and I had a little bit of trial and error. And I told him, I said, when you get the tile, get a couple pieces that I can practice on. And he bought an electric tile cutter that it's a wet saw, like a little table saw, and I kind of play around with it. As long as it's a straight cut, it's pretty easy. But if you get that saw in a bind, it's a little aggravating. So here's Badin, North Carolina. This is Badin Lake right up ahead of us here. This town was formed, or the dam was built here for Alcoa aluminum, I think back in the 50s and 60s, I think. I'll up over here and show you a little bit of the lake. I spent a lot of time down here on my dad's boat. Another motorcycle. They have a little beach down here too. Yeah, over here's the beach. It's a nice lake. It's not real big. The water level stays the same, or it used to. I mean, when my parents had a place here, even when it got dry, the water level had to stay the same because the aluminum plant needed it to produce aluminum. This is a really quaint little town. It's like I said, I spent a lot of time here when my parents lived here. Now they've kind of built it up a little bit. This little main street. Got a really good coffee shop here. It's where I'm meeting my friend. But yeah, we used to ride up here on the boat, and there used to be an ice cream place up here, I think up here somewhere, and used to bring my kids up here, my boys up here to get ice cream. And Morrow Mountain State Park is near here. And that's a neat place. It's a state park. It sits on Lake Tillery. I don't see my buddy yet. Here we go. Put it in neutral. So you folks that own these NC1100 DCTs, I had heard that if you didn't put it in neutral, I've been trying to get into that habit to always put it into neutral, because if you shut it off while it was still in gear, that you would have to at some point recalibrate the DCT. I don't know if that's true or not. You hear all kinds of stuff online, but if that's the case, let me know your thoughts. Anyway, we'll wait on my friend Badin Coffee, and here at Badin Coffee, and I will talk to you later.